Girl Side Quest.
Welcome back to another episode of Black Girl Side Quest. We are your hosts. I am Kay with Allie and Nay, and today's side quest is cosplaying. Have y'all ever cosplayed before?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Been cosplaying a few years. Am I good at it? No. But have I been doing it a long time? Yeah.
So, for those who may not know, cosplaying is like costume play, and it's like a practice of dressing up as a character from fiction, particularly from anime or manga, sometimes video games, sometimes science fiction, and it involves creating or acquiring costumes and sometimes makeup to resemble a chosen character, often with the goal of portraying them at conventions, events, or photo shoots. So, what are some examples of cosplays you guys have done?
Old ones or like recent?
List your favorite cosplays you've done.
Oh, favorites. I've done a Fortnite cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of my favorites. I am also working to improve it. It's a character named Highwire from, I think she was like season 4. I'm not 100% sure. And then second favorite is my Vampire Knights one, just because it was my first one and it was really good anime. Loved it when I was in high school, and I thought it was the most fun that I've had.
Oh my gosh, we should have talked about Vampire Knight in the vampire episodes. Yeah, for me, recently, I would say my favorite cosplay would probably be Blue Diamond from Steven Universe. And Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Cool.
I had to make that hair myself. The wig. I wasn't going to spend $1,000 for someone to make the wig for me, and it would just be okay. I sat there and spent the entire summer trying to, without any sort of guidance whatsoever, I just kind of put it together. I was just like, I think I'm just gonna... And just worked on making this wig, and it turned out pretty good, and it was really exciting. That was the part that I was proud of the most, is making a costume or something for the costume, and when you wear it, people are like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. And I only spent like, $70 for all the materials? I had to make it twice, but it was still like a really proud moment for me.
I would say my favorite was Kita from Atlantis. That was really fun. I'd like to do it again one day, like a better version. My next favorite is one I haven't done it yet, but I'm doing it this coming DragonCon, Dara from Fortnite. It's going to be my most intricate one thus far. I'm actually cutting up stuff for the costume and everything. I didn't just buy like the pieces. So
my sister was Princess Kita last DragonCon for one of her cosplays.
Oh
yeah, she decided to do it like very last minute, but it turned out great.
What's your favorite con that you've gone to?
Favorite con? I'm not gonna lie, probably Animazement.
Really?
Yeah. I think maybe it's because it was my first con, and it's big enough to where you can get a lot of people to appreciate what you've done, but not as overwhelming as like DragonCon. Because last time I went to DragonCon, that's a convention where you need to go back multiple times. It's not like a one and done. I didn't have the chance to do any of the raves, any of the parties, to go everywhere because it was such a big convention, but I was satisfied with what we did there for the first time. So, but Animazement, you can go through the full 3 days and go through everything and be satisfied.
I will say, I've been to DragonCon like 3 times, and each time something new happens. Last year, I just found out how much I love raves, and so I would say that's my favorite. Animazement's always close to my heart because it was my first, but of all the cons that I've been to, DragonCon is like, it's up there. It's just always partying. They have like a lot of guests that come, a lot of opportunities to go to each panel. But yeah, staying like from what I've heard, I've never stayed off of like the hotel area. Staying in like Airbnbs is a different experience. I usually stay in like their host hotel. But this year I'm supposed to be in an Airbnb, so we'll see how that goes for that experience.
Yeah, fingers crossed to you guys with the Airbnb. Last time I tried to book an Airbnb for DragonCon, they canceled on me, and I think they they put it back up onto the market for a higher price so someone else can rent it out. So I personally prefer staying in the hotels, but for anyone who doesn't know, if you do a big convention, you're going to have to book your hotel almost a year in advance.
Mm-hmm.
People take conventions very seriously. Like, I guess, like, you guys are going to DragonCon this August. This September, the tickets for next year are going to reopen.
Mm-hmm.
So people get their tickets in advance almost a year before the event. So it's taken very seriously.
Tickets go on sale the day DragonCon ends. Actually, I think it's like the day before it ends, because I know on that Monday when you leave, you can buy a ticket for the next year. It's like stupid cheap though. It's like $95, which some people say that's not cheap, but like for a whole weekend, that's incredibly cheap.
Oh yeah, like in comparison, if you had like a local convention, they're probably going to be the tickets about $50 to $75. But for DragonCon, because it's such a big event, similar to, you know, New York Comic-Con or LA's Comic-Con, you're going to have to spend a bit more money. And really do consider, if you're going to get a hotel, I think it's easier if for changing purposes, and to have a spot to where you can, after you're done with the festivities, to just relax.
Mm-hmm.
So take in consideration parking, hotels, the convention price, and then the costumes. If you want to make them or buy them, it's an event that's going to cost quite a bit of money. You got to really save up for it.
Yeah, definitely. And I would have to say that DragonCon is my favorite convention because that's the only one I've been to. I had many plans to go to Animazement, but it just didn't work out. So DragonCon it is. However, I did do some other cosplaying. One of my friends is a photographer, and she would do this 31 days of Halloween every year. So she would have us cosplay different things. That's when I was Kita. So I would say that's where my love for cosplaying started before I had even gone to any cons.
And it's impressive what people can do with like a budget of $50. Like, I'm like, you bought this at Spirit Halloween? It never looks like that when I do it. And then they put it on and it looks exactly like, just like the character. And I'm like, what the heck?
And yeah, sometimes you can buy a super expensive costume and it doesn't turn out right. I've done that before where I've bought costumes that were like $200, which I guess isn't really like super expensive now, but like back in the day, that was just like, oh wow, you're really dropping money on that. And it came out like, for all this money, it's not quite what I was looking for. Material wasn't the best, you know, the fit wasn't the best. So I think being able to make your own costume, or at least adjust a previous costume to fit you better, to match your style better, is fun. And that's another thing too. When you dress up, it doesn't have to look exactly like the character. When I did my Yugi cosplay, I did like a gender bender version of Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was fun. Instead of pants and his dress coat, I'm wearing a skirt and a whole bunch of chains. So having your version of the character is always fun to see too. I like to see that.
What would you guys say is your most expensive cosplay? I know mine was $700 without the helmet for my Fortnite character and her shoes.
Most expensive? Probably my Blair cosplay from Soul Eater. only because I got the cosplay like twice. Because the first part of the cosplay, I was just like, okay, this fits and this works, but I don't really like the hat and the stockings and the this, that, and the third here. I got another one to compare it to. I'm like, a better hat. A better accessories. But the dress, not to my liking, not as fluffy. And so I ended up keeping both. And then having to get her shoes. I don't know if anyone's aware or seen Soul Eater. Blair is like a cat witch, and she has these little curly boots that she wears. A lot of places don't sell that with the costume, so I had to buy it separate from someone from eBay. And I didn't even have a chance to wear them all day because they fit, but they were not walking around shoes. Those are photo shoes. They were good for the photo. I had to take them off. So with 2 cosplays and a separate order of shoes, plus the petticoat and the makeup and then the wig, I got different because she has an intricate wig. I probably spent like $300, which really isn't a lot compared to other people's cosplays, but that was probably the most expensive that I've done.
I can't put a number on it. I don't know. I buy little bits at a time and I try to keep it pretty cheap, but if I know that I have to buy a lot of stuff for it, I don't even want to calculate it, so I just don't.
Yeah.
But it would definitely be the Fortnite one that's costed the most.
Oh, yeah. It's all the little pieces.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would say, like, it is hard to put a cost on them because even the biggest ones, depending on what material people use, it could range from like $200 to $1,000. I've seen people who they'll like buy it directly from someone like, oh, I don't know how to do what I'm doing, so I'm gonna get somebody else, just pay someone else to do it for me. Or the people who are DIYers and like raising my hand here, burning ourselves and trying to sew something to ourselves, just trying to make this cosplay perfect. I am still a baby cosplayer, still learning very much. But
Same.
yeah, it's just interesting to know how much people paid. Like I've seen videos online where like someone will walk around the conventions and be like, "Hey, like how much did you pay and who are you?" And like one guy, he wore a Deadpool costume. He's like, "Oh, I just bought this before I got here. It was $20." And it looks great.
Oh my gosh, I love it when people do have the very intricate cosplays like Sesshomaru from Inuyasha. There's always one Sesshomaru and I always seek them out because you can tell their costume is expensive. Like, I don't know if they're putting it together or if they're buying it, but either way you can tell they're putting in money into it. And that's one of the fun parts about conventions too. It's not always what you dress, but seeing how other people, like what they're doing and how they're dressing up. And I think that's always fun. It's like trying to find the unique ones because there's always going to be a group of people who do the most popular show or anime or game at the time. So you might see a bunch of Nezuko's from Demon Slayer.
Oh my god, that was all of DragonCon last year. Nezuko. There's always a Genshin Impact group. The amount of Deadpools you'll see at a convention is just wow. They have photo ops for those big groups as well. Halo is a really cool one. I like to go see all of those people with their different armor and how they reimagine some of it, and I'm like, that's amazing. How are you doing this?
Oh yeah, Halo and the Stormtroopers, whenever you see them do like unique versions of that, you're just like, yes.
I saw a girl cover an entire Stormtrooper outfit last year in crystals, and I was like, oh my god, that is amazing.
That must have took her forever.
Oh yeah, well she said that it was, they were all strips, like those strips of rhinestones, but it was really cool. And I was like, I need a picture of you. I don't know who you are, strange person, but I need your picture now.
And cosplaying isn't the only thing you can do at conventions. They also have panels and workshops. So there are sessions that feature like voice actors and industry professionals or fans on various topics related to anime, manga, comics, cosplay. So those are always options for people to do too. if you don't want to just do cosplaying, I have yet to be able to do a panel. Anytime I go to a convention, they're already booked and full, and you can't get in. Have you guys done a panel?
To a Vampire Diaries panel.
Well, the third one.
Legacies?
Yes. Yeah, it was for Legacies. And when we were walking, like later on that night, we bumped into one of the guys, and I was like, "Hey," and he like waved back, so that was pretty cool. I like seeing the famous people at cons.
They're super chill. Like, all the time.
Have you guys had a chance to meet any voice actors?
No, I tend to not go to the actors' rooms or anything like that. Now, if Alex Lee, who voices Zenitsu in Demon Slayer and Jean Woo in Solo Leveling, if I ever see him, I would love to meet him. I also just found out he voices the main character in Rent a Girlfriend. If I ever see him at a convention, I will be paying to meet him.
I haven't met any of the voice actors either.
You did meet that one guy from it was like a TV show that your mom was interested in, I think.
Oh. Yeah, oh my gosh, and his name is failing me. But I got to take a picture with him. He played Blue in The Temptations.
It gets pricey to meet actors.
Oh yeah, it was like $70 for that photo.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Oh, really?
I had to pay like $50 just to take a picture on my phone.
Oh, okay. So I guess that's for anyone who's listening. You want to meet the voice actors, you're going to have to pay.
I mean, it depends on their popularity. I think David Tennant from Doctor Who is usually around $150, and that's for, I think, a pre-made picture and with his autograph on it. And then like you'd have to pay a separate fee for like photographs, but I don't remember the exact prices, but I know that it was up to like $150, which for me, I'm like, I love you, but if I were to purchase every single actor out here, I would be broke.
And there is a slight difference between the panels where there's a bunch of people kind of sitting in and listening to these actors kind of answer questions or talk about their projects, and like a meet and greet, because some meet and greets, they just have you, all right, here they are, you come up in line, you know, you take the photo, you shake their hand, you might give them a hug, and then you keep it moving. Which one would you guys prefer to do? Meet and greets or the actual panels?
Are we on a budget or are we not on a budget?
You have a budget of $200.
Panels.
Yeah, I'd rather do panels because I mean, like, I get nervous trying to having to go up to them and everything. Like, I was getting nervous just having to take a picture with DB Woodside. I was just like, oh, stand here? Okay, jeez. Okay, bye now.
Yeah, that makes sense. When you're with
we're sitting in the panel going, zoom in on him. Zoom.
Right? Yeah.
Picture. Oh my god, I was here.
Sometimes in those panels, like, they have it to where guests can ask a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get chosen to ask a question for the whole panel, so that's kind of cool.
They usually try to get to everybody. Of course, the bigger they are, the less likely you are to be able to ask a question, but the panel we went to is actually kind of small, and I think everybody that had a question had their question answered.
Yeah.
That. And speaking of having to pay for the panels, there's also shopping available. There's either a dealer's room or an artist alley. You know, it allows people to purchase merchandise like figurines and posters and unique handmade stuff. What is your guys' favorite thing that you've bought from an artist alley?
Okay, so DragonCon, it's like 4 floors, and there's no way to explain how vast these 4 floors of shopping are, including the artist alley outside of that in another hotel. So there's so many opportunities to buy something, and all of the artists there are so talented. I cannot pick my favorite, but if I had to, there's this little kitty with tentacles, like a little octopus, and it's called Tentacle Kitties. My favorite little thing that I've ever bought from like a convention ever is like a little plushie, and it looks so weird, but I love everything about it.
Okay. Okay. Nay, do you have a favorite thing that you've gotten from a artist alley?
I have a really pretty picture of Comey from Comey Can't Communicate. She's like looking back, and you're just like, oh yeah, she's the it girl.
Now, what about, do you guys have an item that you got that was your most expensive from the artist corner or wherever? What's your most expensive thing that you've gotten?
Well, me and my husband share a wallet, so is it between both of us or just me?
Let's go with just you first.
Okay. I bought a picture that is like massive of Yami from Black Clover. But the guy was like, if you buy one, you get this other one so much off. And I don't remember what it was. But I was like, word? Okay. And he was like, but if you buy 3, then you get one for free. And I'm like, stop. I'll take that. So I ended up buying 3. Well, technically 2, and getting that last one for free. And I think that was my most expensive purchase at about like $90 total for all of the pictures together, which wasn't bad in my opinion. Are they hanging up in my house? No. But, I will eventually put them on the wall. They have picture frames. Step 2 has made it. Purchase, frame, and I need to get to step 3, which is hanging it, but we'll get there.
Wow.
Yeah, normally I like to buy pins from these artist alleys. I love collecting pins, especially the enamel ones. So whenever I go to a convention, I have a little budget of at least being able to buy pins. Like I would give myself like $150 budget for pins alone. But at DragonCon, I would say the most expensive thing that I got was my swords. I got one of Zoro's from One Piece, one of his swords. And it was like, maybe like $80. Wasn't bad. And I didn't stop there. I got another sword that is actually a real one that's not from anything. And I think that one was like $60. It came with like some kunai. And so that's my actual fighting sword if I have to, if someone breaks into my house. And yeah, those were probably the most expensive things that I've gotten from conventions outside of my pins.
Did you buy anything last year?
Well, the year before last.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't go last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I got like 2 pictures. I got a mug. But like I think the 2 pictures were like 2 for $60. It was my Comey picture and then one of Rimuru from Reincarnated by Slime. Did want a sword though, and the guy was like, oh, I'll give you $50 off, but it was still like almost $300. So I was like, maybe next time.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to go on the days where it's starting to wrap up.
Yeah, the vendors get really cheap around that time.
Because I know for a fact, I probably went on one of the last days at DragonCon, and I know that Zoro sword probably would have been a few $100, but you could tell the vendor was trying to like get rid. He still had a lot of swords, and so I got a good price for it. So, it's a risk. You might lose out on all the good stuff. You never know. There's a lot of cool artwork and handmade figurines and stuff like that that may be available on the first days. Yeah. But you're going to have to pay. So
I like to buy from like the artist mostly, and then people who are reselling anything, I like to look up, hey, how much can I pay for this out like on Amazon or something? And it's nice to support the small businesses, but sometimes like I bought this LED backpack on Amazon because the guy was trying to sell it to me for $200. It was $75 on Amazon, and I'm like, do I need this right now at the convention? And the convention ends in like a day, and like I had to really weigh it with myself. Did I want to walk around with it? Yeah, but do I need to spend $200 on it? No. Found the exact same bag later on and purchased it from but I know this guy, he got people to talk him down on that last day. I am awful at haggling with people. Because you'd be like, 200, I'd be like, okay. I'll give you $200. Like, and they're like, you could have haggled down to 100. I'd be like, really? Well, I have it now.
Well, it's like, you don't know. Sometimes people are artists and you don't want to necessarily haggle an artist because they worked hard to create their items, and it almost seems like disrespectful to say your price that you've provided is too much. Can you go lower? You know, especially as an artist, if I'm trying to sell something and people are like, can you make it cheaper? Like, that seems a little annoying. So I try to buy it at what they offer. So I'm terrible at haggling, and I'm just like, okay, I'll buy it. Like, if I want it, I'm gonna buy it. And a lot of the times there's a good number of vendors who you're not gonna see their items anywhere else. Like, they are hand making certain things, and you either buy it there or you get a card and you buy from them like later.
Yeah, I do that a lot too. And then some artists are very transparent. Like, they're like, hey, I know it's like $150 here. I took it up because it's con pricing. But if you go to my website, I have it here for $75 or whatever. And like, you're like, oh, okay, I'll just buy it on your website. And they're like, also on my website, I have this deal. And I'm like, okay, cool. Also, it helps to like not have to carry that stuff around if you can order it straight through them. Because I know I've been concerned about like paintings with other friends, and they're like, can I keep this in your room? Because like, I can't carry this on the plane. I need you to take it home for me. It's gonna sweat. And I'm like, that's cool. Drop it in our car. Let's go. Like, there's no space in our car anyway.
And that's another thing too. If you're going to a convention, let's say that's out of state, even though it might be more convenient to fly there, sometimes you have to drive just so that you can have the space to bring back your items.
You go there with a car full of crap, and you leave with a car extra full of stuff, crap. And then you get home and you go, what have I done?
Oh, yeah.
Especially looking at that bank account.
Oh,
yeah.
The reason why I'm not going to DragonCon this year is because I'm still recovering from last year.
We had one year where we were literally we wanted mystery sabers from, I don't remember what the name of the company was, but they were all special lightsabers that were different colors, and the mystery one had a different style on the actual handle, the hilt. And my husband's like, okay, we're gonna buy this one. I think it was $150. And he was like, okay, I didn't like this color. And I was like, did you want to do it again? He goes, yeah. I think we did it 3 times. And it's just, the bank account was getting hit real hard with that. And I was like, oh god, we spent so much money on lightsabers, and we're taking home like 3 lightsabers, and 2 of them are the exact same color.
And you already had lightsabers.
We currently own, I think, about 8 lightsabers. It is ridiculous.
And where are all your lightsabers?
They are in a closet. We used to display them, but we live in an apartment, so there's not a lot of space to display currently.
You got a bunch of wall. You and those displays, you don't hang up your pictures. I got my pictures right here.
My pictures aren't hung up because I'm trying to figure out a place to put them. You can't just slap them up on the wall. They have specific places they need to be placed. You can't just put Rimuru in the dining room and be like, yes, I'm eating my dinner. Look at my baby Rimuru destroying all of these, like, humans because they messed with the goblins. No.
You have Rimuru in your living room, though.
Where?
Behind
his statue. Yeah.
Yeah, his statues.
I have an entire cabinet full of Rimuru because he's my baby.
Yes. For those listening, Allie has a whole bunch of figurines. Really cool ones. There's some expensive ones, some huge ones, some rare ones, and she doesn't even have them all displayed. But her cabinets are cool, and that is something you have to, if you're new to conventions, that is something you might have to prepare yourself for. Is buying items and then having the space to display them. Because I know for a fact when I get a bigger spot, I'm going to have my swords on display. Swords, plural. I want more swords.
Plural.
Plural.
And not just for cosplaying.
Not just for cosplay. I want all of them.
Now, I will say, if anybody's attending a convention, if you purchase a sword and you're staying at host hotels, especially DragonCon, you're gonna get checked, kind of like security for these weapons. Building these things for cosplay, just keep in mind, don't put metal in them. You will get checked, and you will have a zip tie on your beautiful weapon that you work so hard on, because it has metal in it. So keep that in mind if you're gonna start out in this, and just use EVA foam, use plastic, but the metal ones, I hated when they put a zip tie on my wooden swords because the lady thought it was metal. But just keep those things in mind.
It makes sense for safety purposes.
Yeah.
You may get a few excited people who want to also portray and act like the character that they're dressed up in, and they can get a little weird. And that's another thing too, guys. When you go to the conventions, it's fun, but let's not be too weird. One time when me and my sister last year when we went to DragonCon, we were walking from the artist alley, and you know how they have the tunnels where they kind of funnel you out back into the main hotel.
Mm-hmm.
There was a man dressed up, I believe, as, what is his name? The guy from Cowboy Bebop? I want to say Spike, yeah. But he had like a fake gun, and he was just pointing it at everyone who was walking out. And at first we're kind of like, haha, but he wasn't moving. He was just aiming at people. And in today's climate, let's not do that. It's fun to pose, but let's not aim weapons or fake weapons at people, because you never know how people are going to respond. He was there for like 30 minutes pointing his weapons at people, and people are like kind of walking by him kind of like, okay, cool cosplay, but it was also kind of like, why are you doing this?
So keep in mind large props. Majestic, beautiful, love it. Lugging that around is a problem. People running into it. I don't know how many times I've had people step on my cosplays just because it was very long, like a cape. I did run into a girl about, I think it was 2 years ago at DragonCon, who had these massive wings. Once again, majestic, beautiful angel wings. These things were probably about 6 feet long. I took a picture of her, but I also didn't realize that I was going to walk into the wings whenever I was like backing up to talk to somebody about something. And I was like, oh my God, almost knocked over this girl's beautiful work. And all because of not paying attention to where I'm walking. And it was a great moment. She was super apologetic to her. She did a fantastic job. But just keep in mind, anything huge, make sure that you have an ample amount of space to duck or just walk around. Because, I mean, after a while, sometimes those things get very uncomfortable. Your shoes.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes because there's so many people, you're going to have to get squished in through hallways at some point. As great and as amazing your huge cosplay is, a lot of times those who have like the big flashy showing ones know you're going to have to stay in one spot, preferably outside, for like a while until you take all of that off to walk around, because no one's really going to be able to appreciate it if you have to squeeze in through a hallway.
I don't like doing too much squeezing during the conventions. There's some people who just don't know the art of deodorant. They have not discovered that.
And I get it, especially in these places, a lot of conventions are during the summer. And you're walking around, they could have applied a deodorant beforehand, but this is a PSA. Put on deodorant and then reapply and then reapply and reapply. Use some, what is it, the gold bond
The
powder?
powder. Yeah.
Yes, to help with the sweat, especially if you wear tight cosplays.
And every character I know has something that they carry. I mean, even Harley Quinn has like a holster. Put the deodorant in the holster. Like,
Yeah.
hide it in there. I mean, I know Nay and I were making a giant potion barrel from Fortnite. It's called a Chug Jug, and we'll be carrying that around with all kinds of goodies. This year.
Now we gotta throw a deodorant in there.
Yeah, put a deodorant in there. Throw them off. Keep them guessing.
Another thing that we did at DragonCon was the swag and seek.
That is so much fun.
I love doing that. Last year, I created maybe like 100, maybe even 150 little baggies that had like butterfly enamel pins in them, some cool holographic stickers, and I was just passing them out to people. I didn't have a chance to bring them all to the actual Swag and Seek event, where there are actual events where people can bring these little gifts for people and exchange them if they just so happen to like their cosplay or like their vibe. It's just like a little gift thing to show community amongst conventions. I still have some of those baggies. I probably have like maybe 50 of them left, and I'm probably going to pass them out at the next local convention, maybe Animazement or GalaxyCon, because they were supposed to match my Star vs. the Forces of Evil cosplay, and I don't know if I'm going to do that next year, so I'm just going to pass them out to people.
You know, GalaxyCon was last weekend, right?
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
Yeah, GalaxyCon just happened. So the next one is IbashoCon for local ones. I really want to go to MomoCon. I've heard great things about it, and I think there's one out in Charlotte as well that I'm very interested in.
I would say my favorite part about cosplaying is like it boosts your confidence a little bit, especially if like you dress up as someone and everyone's like, oh my gosh, I love that character, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know this character, like you know who I am, like especially. And this year, like there's a cosplay I'm doing, it's Hestia from Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon, and I'm wondering like who will know who I am because I'm kind of blackifying it instead of having her like long wig,
Like the word blackifying.
I'm doing like long locks. And
Yeah, I think that's another great thing about conventions is that so far from the ones I've seen, everyone's been very nice. It's just like a whole pool of people being like, I love your outfit. I love your outfit. Oh my gosh, I love your outfit. And that's really like you mentioned, Nate, confidence building, because I think the first time Allie invited me to a convention, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna dress up. And then I didn't dress up.
Was that Animazement?
It was one of the Animazements, and you were just like, so now I'm just sitting here looking stupid by myself. I was just like a
T-shirt.
I was just like,
I think you put up an Attack on Titans T-shirt.
yeah, I had the T-shirt and like their backpack, and I was just like, I didn't know people were like really gonna dress up, and I felt so underdressed. and I swore, I'm like, the next time I go, I'm going to put in effort. And my Blue Diamond one was the first official full cosplay, and it was a tough time. I don't know if you remember, Allie, like my dress had broke. I had to get sewn into it. I had blue face paint everywhere. I was going full out, but the amount of compliments and the amount of people who stopped me, and the amount of people who were like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It truly was a great time.
I am still waiting for the day someone asks me for my picture. It has not happened to me yet, but I will go. I will keep going until that day someone goes, hey, can I take a picture with you? I love that character.
No one's asked for your picture?
No. I did ask for somebody's picture, and they asked for a picture in return, but I've never been stopped while walking to get a picture.
Even your Fortnite one?
No, I did Fortnite at night though, so I think that's why I did not get a picture with somebody, and it actually broke. I sat on the belt, and it's like a harness thing, and when I was eating food, I slid out of the booth, and the strap broke on it, and I was like super upset, and I was like, you know what? I don't even wear this anymore. I changed into a kigurumi for the rest of the night.
What about you, Nate? Did people ever stop you for photos?
No. Nope. Not at all. I was, oh my gosh, Rin is her name from Fate. And we were at a rave and a guy came up to me. I hadn't seen Fate at this point. I had only dressed up as her because Allie wanted me to be her with one of her cosplays. And the guy was like, "Oh my gosh, are you Rin?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I at least knew her name. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, I love blah blah blah," like something about one of the episodes. I was like, just nodding, like, "Yeah, Don't know what you're talking about, but okay, yeah, thank you."
Well, I'm dressed as a Fate character as well, and nobody recognized me. I mean, to that as well, if you dress up as this niche character that a lot of people don't know who it is, or it's been a while since they've been out, there is always one person at the convention that you're going to pass by who says, "Oh my god, you're from this," and they'll acknowledge it. I'm still waiting for a picture, but if you want to wear it, just don't be like, "Oh, it's stupid." Nope. And all of us look just as stupid out there as grown-ass adults wearing our cosplays. Join the weirdness. Just join in. It's amazing.
Join us. Join us.
We have cookies.
Join our side. We're not too weird. Come on. It's so fun. Because sometimes at these events, you kind of just click with people so well. You are like, we could be actual friends. And then you never see them again.
Yep. It's a great way to meet people and then forget them.
I made a friend last year during a rave. I was drunk. It's fine. But, this year I do need to text her, actually. But I'm going to find out if she's coming because she says she's there every year. And it's really fun to have someone to be like, "Hey, are you going to be there this year?" And every year just continue to go see, if they're there. Because you create those lifetime friendships like that. Especially if they're from your area. You're like, "Hey, I'm from that town too. Let's hang out when we get back home." Like, hell yeah. But you don't know who's at these conventions because they're from everywhere, just vast.
We have to do a group cosplay with Kay because she always gets her picture taken, so then we'll definitely get our picture taken.
Yes. We have to let her pick the anime too. Because...
Yeah.
That's another thing too, though. Most conventions are during the summer. I wish I could do certain cosplays, but they get so hot. You will put it on, I'm like, all right, take it off. I can't, this is really just for the photos. Especially if it's outside. All right, everyone take your photos. Now I have to go because I'm burning up. Literally, face paint is dripping off of me. They need to do more winter conventions.
That would be fun. I mean, Ibasho is February, so I will say it was really cold. So I didn't want to go outside, at all. So then you have your pros and cons, but cons.
On that note.
Oh wow, I didn't like my dad joke. It's fine.
Cosplay. That's today's side quests. Tell us in the comments, have you guys cosplayed before? What were your cosplays? What was your favorite? What conventions have you been to? We'd like to know. Maybe one day we'll go to one of those conventions. But yeah. Again, we are your host. I'm Kay. I'm with Allie and Nay. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Side quest. Side quest with black girls.